I think me, Lorraine, Uncle Mart, Auntie Jane had booked a week's holiday in Ibiza. At the same time, our Faye was 21, also working as a rep in Ibiza. We decided that we were going to visit her on the day of her birthday. So as we were nearing the apartment blocks, I would call it, maybe? I don't know what they were called really in them days. And her mum phoned her up and says, Faye, we're nearly with you. And I think Uncle Matt were driving, I was sat beside him, and I could hear from where I was a state of shock, saying, you're early, I'm not ready for you yet. So as we arrived at the apartment block, looking for number 23, apartment number 23, walking down all these different corridors, my wife just stopped in her tracks and just says, that's Faye's. And without even looking at the door number, she says, that's Faye's room there. And outside this room was the biggest pile of crap you've ever seen in your life. Steaming with dust and mud. Still just swept outside to me when I walk in the door. Take your shoes off. But can I just say, she still reverts to kind when she comes home. For the last 3 days, it's just been completely like a kid. That same evening, if I recall, she was doing a rep show for Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon. And she called us and said, will you come and watch us? Will you come and watch us do this rep show for Miss Saigon? So I thought, oh, it's not bad, she got in Miss Saigon, like, you know, I'm looking forward to it. And all of a sudden, she just says, ah yeah, this is Simon. And just dump the poor kid with us. You know, and we thought, oh, right. Thinking back to this performance she was doing, she'd had a full bottle of wine before she went on stage. And she was drinking a glass of wine while she was doing this side. And can I just say, she was only in the chorus line, shut up! Shoulder. And he was sat there and we were talking 10 to the double. Now, the lads who were with us on the stag do know how hard it was to understand us.
Sorry, what?
Simon has known us 9 years. So, and he still can't understand us now. So, the poor bugger, what chance did he have in the early days there? But we took him to his art then, and I'm sure he took us to his art now. So, you know, it's gone on. I know Simon will look after Faye, as he's already shown in various things that we know about. And he's a wonderful husband, and he's a wonderful dad to our Oscar. It's been my honour today to walk my beautiful daughter, Faye, and to welcome Simon, Peter, Fiona and the boys into our family, and Wayne, sorry, into our family. And then they gave the apple of our eye, our Oscar. And when he shouts Nana and Rah Rah, it means twisters around his little finger.
Oscar, where's Rah Rah?
So I'd like to thank you all, bridesmaids, Natalie, Elizabeth.
There's going to be a number of questions. So make sure you put on a drink. On behalf of my later sex girlfriend. much that every single one of you has made the effort to get here today, whether you've travelled near or far or from wherever. So thank you. As is always the case with large events, gatherings of people, there are always a few that miss out. So my first toast this evening is going to be to the absent friends and family. So if we all just stand and raise a glass. Without the assistance of people to my left and to my right. Emotionally, financially, and sometimes even physically, parents, you've propped us up and kept us both pointing in the right direction. Mum, Dad, you've always been the people that I look up to. I think you've turned out a fairly reasonably well-adjusted young man. I think generally you two can be very proud of what you've achieved here.
Oh my God!
Hold your heads high. You've both done an absolutely amazing job with Faith. You can only work with what you're given. Turns out, you know, as it happens, she's turned out all right, and if she hasn't, then I will be sitting making it. On a personal note, it's not just yourselves that have welcomed you into your family. It's the entire family. Most of which are to my left-hand side. So I personally would like to say a massive thank you to you all for the good grace with which you welcome me into your family. Since I met her, I've never known anyone like her. You've all met her, so you probably feel the same. But you blew me away the first time that I met you. Rod Stewart had something to do with that. But nobody even holds a candle to you. Nobody comes close. You are. You're the most vivacious, carefree person that I've ever come across. You love life, you love it, and I love you for that. God knows why you love me as well. It makes me an incredibly proud and happy man.
Come on!
To those from up north, and then from down south, listen to now what comes out of my mouth. I have for you the story of my dearest friend who is entering a journey which will never end. Now, I met this man at police training school. It was all very serious till I met this fool. In our first meet and greet, they said, "Tell us your name." "I'm Simon. I'm an alcoholic," whispered he with no shame. I latched on to this funny and silly blonde dude drinker of beer and great lover of food. We'd drink out in town, we were pillars of society, narrowly escaping arrest through lack of sobriety. He lived with me for a time in a 2-bedroom place. Most of the time smashed out his face. No fear. Take the posters off the wall. Wonder Woman's here. Individually so funny, and together so cool. Looking good in clothes that would make most of us look a fool. Makes me wonder what Northerners are teaching at school. Your football teams are pants, but at least you look cool. Well, she's a bonny belle. I hope those little legs of his do serve him well. She's swell, a diamond in anyone's books, and she's found her match, perhaps not in height or in looks. Excuse me? 15. Eating and drinking and keeping it clean. Drinking games were rife in the van on the way. One spot sends it to the 8th spot, we'd say. The late paying ex-squaddy. The pigeon named John. Some guy called Dustin who brought him along. There was Jody and Shabba. Great Chris and Fish. Guys, thanks for stopping at the services when I needed a pick. Hail Pete. Hail Steve. Hail Brooke, Rich and Martin. 15 of these terse shirts, the party was starting. Some dropped and some faltered when on a wakeful, who at least 5 of you now know farts in his sleep. The sheephead is how he will ever be known. Whether talking to his face or chatting on the phone. He was born as Simon, but it will never be the same. My children, his godchildren, don't know his name. And I'll promise you that. They don't have a clue that their godfather is not a lamb or a ram or a ewe. When they welcome him into our house with his wife, "Hey Uncle Sheephead," is the greeting he's had all their life. Now when Oscar was born, it was clear from the hair that Simon's the father.